LinkedIn is pretty amazing at helping you grow your small business. We cannot stop your new clients from emailing you at 3 a.m. We can help you sell, market, and hire in one place. We cannot help you be in 3 places at once. And while we can't help you organize your calendar, LinkedIn can help you land more clients so you have a calendar to organize. Grow your small business on LinkedIn. Learn more at linkedin.com/smallbusiness.
This episode is brought to you by Ferrero. Soccer's biggest stage is approaching, and Ferrero is making it easy to go all in. Pick any 2 Ferrero brands from Kinder Bueno to Ferrero Rocher, and you could win the $1 million grand prize, plus an exciting range of daily and weekly prizes. Don't miss your shot. Official rules apply. Learn more at goallinandwin.com.
The road to the NBA Finals ends here, with star guard setting the tone. The Cavs eye another upset, while the Knicks carry the dreams of all of New York. The Eastern Conference Finals continue on ESPN and ABC.
Where is Daredevil?
A minor. Don't miss the return of Marvel Television's Daredevil Born Again.
So what's next?
I feel liberated.
We're gonna take this city back.
Over medicated.
In an all-new season, now streaming only on Disney+.
They're hunting us. It's time we started hunting them.
I can work with that.
This should be tons of fun.
Marvel Television's Daredevil Born Again, now streaming only on Disney+.
112 days until the season kicks off. 116 days till we all start 1-0. Maybe. I don't know about the Packers, but we'll get to that in a second.
No, they won't.
So,
we'll beat them. We opened.
I did lead you there, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Happy National Pick Strawberries Day to everyone who practices, and it's also National Streaming Day. I know Rupert Murdoch is not celebrating that day. If you've been following the news of him and what he's got going on in DC, but let's get right to that first topic since we're already a little bit behind the 8 ball. Have you all ever been to Nashville? It's a real cool place. The first time I ever was in what's this? We're in May. Was in March. First time I've ever stepped foot on the soil there. I drive through it all the time. Making that back trip between Chicago and Atlanta. But I actually had to spend some time at Uncle Near's delivery in March, about an hour outside of town. And Nashville's a really dope spot. The Gulch is cool. Downtown Nashville on Saturday was buzzing. Like, man, you know me, I'm a day party guy. I'm a day drinker. And downtown Nashville is for my type. I loved it. With that, the news that Nashville was awarded the 2030, I think that's Super Bowl 54, it was like, okay, I see what they're doing. You can see, I was thinking that they're going to have it at Nissan Stadium right up to 24, right? And I didn't know until now that they were actually building a new stadium, which is typical that you would get your new Super Bowl. You get a new stadium, they grant you a Super Bowl. So, False, you got any thoughts on the Super Bowl going to Nashville for the first time?
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is in Nashville, right? Or no, country
Music, yeah.
Cleveland's got the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Cleveland, yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, it seems to be a pretty hopping areas. And
LeBron seems to be pretty fond of Nashville.
Can't why, but if LeBron likes it, I love it then, right?
You missed the whole thing with they should move the Grizzlies. But go on, keep going. Dave, did you notice the other thing from this announcement, that there is no date attached to this Super Bowl?
Yes, I did. And you know why there's no date?
I know why, but I don't know if Foster knows. Could you go ahead and just let him know?
The reason there's no date is they're hoping for an 18-game season by 2030, and that way they'll bump it out another week, and we'll have the whole President's Weekend to recover from the Sunday Super Bowl.
You are very much correct with that one, Dave. Yay or nay? More football. Dave, you're up for more football?
I'm up for more football. I could deal with 18 weeks. They'll just drop a preseason game.
The NFL wasn't done making announcements other than where the Super Bowl is going to be in 2030. The 2028 NFL draft is going to be in the Twin Cities. Dave, what are Vikings fans saying about that little bit of announcement?
Hey, we love it. We can't wait. It'll be a boon for the cities itself. It should be fun. We had, the draft in Pittsburgh this year, and it set a record of 805,000 visitors or something like that. Even though there was a dispute, they counted a visitor on Friday. That came back on Saturday as two different visitors, but okay, fine. But they've estimated through when they've had it in Chicago and they've had it in Detroit and they've had it in Pittsburgh that it's at least $200 million that the city earns in extra, taxes and spending, and you're putting that money into the economy, and it's a beautiful thing. Now, next year, it's going to be in Washington, D.C., which should be interesting, on the mall. But the year after, it will be in Minnesota. Now, what's fun is at the end of April is how's the weather going to be? It could be a beautiful, gorgeous spring day, 72 degrees, or it could be just below freezing and we're getting a blizzard. It's just that time of year for Minnesota, they don't know. But if it is lousy weather, they'll move it indoors, or they'll have a big chunk of it indoors. They got the Armory downtown. They've got the stadium, which obviously has enough room. They have the whole commons ground in front of the stadium, which a lot of the outdoor stuff I'm sure will take place in. It will be very good and very nice. And it's made by not only the Vikings put in for it, but the Minnesota Sports Event Committee, who owns U.S. Bank, all that. They promoted this. It was a 28-page, maybe 280-page document that they submitted, including all the logistics that would be required to do it. And the NFL soaked it up. They love it. And I think it's going to be great for the city. I am tentatively planning to go myself.
Over under 51%. Tyler Fornes announces the Vikings' first pick on stage, 2028 NFL draft.
It would be under. Now, whether it's the second pick, because Goodell announces the first round, whether it's the second pick, 64? Possibly.
Now, they do have guest list announcers, especially for the host. Jerome Bennis announced the Steelers pick first round this year.
I don't know. I just hope that for the music, they pick nothing but Minneapolis music. Obviously, Prince will be one of them, but there's tons of great music that came from the Minneapolis area and that they choose them. It's just like with Detroit. They chose Detroit legends to have the music. And then we're not hearing the same old, AC/DC and stuff like that, but that there's enough Minnesota-based music to absolutely rock the place.
You hope so, right? Again, 51%. I think I like my chances of going over there. Because Jerome Bennis is a star. He's a legend in Pittsburgh, but come on, Tyler Fornes, he's a bigger star. We all know this.
He'll appreciate that greatly. But we'll see. We'll see who it is. There's plenty of legends that'll be there, I'm sure. You'll have Fran Tarkenton if he's still kicking by then. And
fingers crossed.
Hopefully. There'll be quite a few. Hey, it's a great place to have it. I hope it, it comes to fruition and it comes to the vision that they aspire to. And it'll be fun.
I think by the time 2028 draft rolls around, the Packers would just now actually start getting a first-round draft pick. Speaking of the Packers and why they don't have first-round draft picks, you like that segue, don't you?
Yes, I do.
On to our third topic on our rundown to our right. Adam Schefter reported the other day that Micah Parsons will likely start the season on the PUP, otherwise known as the PUP list. For those that are unacquainted with football and just watching this because they like the way Dave and Foster look, the PUP list is the physically unable to perform list, and that would take you out for the first 4 games of the season. Keep that in mind for the second half of the show, because there will be a test on this later. Buy or sell, false. You get in here real fast. Buy or sell, Michael Parsons plays a game in October.
October. Buy at least one, even if it's like Halloween.
Dave, it was week 15 when Micah tore his ACL. I believe this is his second career, lower leg injuries. Buy or sell, Dave? Michael Parsons plays a game in October.
I know there's talking about him returning for week 5 versus the Chicago Bears. I don't think he's going to be there. It takes a little bit longer. And what was funny about all of this, besides week 5 versus the Bears, is that he said he's on schedule, maybe a little bit ahead of schedule, but he's on schedule. His defensive coordinator, Jeff Hafley, has predicted Parsons will return even better, unquote, and could challenge the single season sack record.
Sackers for Packers.
I think it's absolutely funny, and I don't think it's going to happen. Normally, an ACL, unless you're an Adrian Peterson type freak, takes at least 9 months and closer to a year to be fully healthy. And then it's generally the year after that they return to their prime shape. He just got off the scooter.
That second part there, Dave, I am 1,000% with it. There's a lot of this that goes on in fandom. A lot of people see the exception to the rule and then they immediately make it the new rule, right? Adrian Peterson comes back from his ACL and everybody thought Derrick Rose should have been back in 6 months after he tore his. That's not how that works. Everybody's different. Adrian Peterson, he's an alien. Shout out to Wemby. Tom Brady, he's dominating football in his face. Everybody assumes, hey, Kirk Cousins and Aaron Rodgers, they can do the same thing. I mean, Tom Brady did it. Exceptions to the rules. An outlier does not change the stated rules. Now, in Kansas City, you got a lot of talk that Patrick Mahomes, he'll be ready for training camp. He'll be ready for week 1. He tore his knee too. I believe they tore it the same week, if I'm not mistaken, right? I want to throw salt on that as well, even though a lot of people would say, hey, Pat, playing quarterback is different than rushing the passer. Yes, it is. However, knees are generally the same, right? Football is a lot of randomness. And if you're going to do a lot of planting and a lot of random moving in and out, I would prefer you would like to know that your knee is going to hold up, whether that's from a quarterback perspective, while you're going in and out of the pocket, or from a pass rusher perspective, where you've got to make sharp darts towards the quarterback. I'm going to double down there with you, Dave. I'm going to throw salt on all of it. And Hafley, you're not a doctor. You don't know what you're talking about.
And take to the fact the size of the human. You've got Mahomes, who's a quarterback. He's 220 pounds maybe? How much does Parsons weigh?
About 240. He's that heavy?
Not that big. No, I don't know.
But he's a bigger boy. We ran with it with our left tackle last year. He came back with a torn knee from the previous season, and he suffered all season. And he was pulled in and out and in and out and in and out.
Hey, yo.
And it's why? Because he's 305 pounds, 310 pounds, 320 pounds. It takes longer when you're packing more poundage. You're a bigger person. Gravity actually works.
Packing more poundage does make you a lot heavier, a lot harder to move. That's true, Dave. That's true. We got a minor clarification coming from the comments. Chris Vikings 30. Dave, Hafley is now the Dolphins head coach. Dave, keep up.
Well, yes, you're right. My croc blew that search. But he supposedly said that.
Yeah. Grok don't know ball.
I know. Grok doesn't know. I'll have to send Elon a message saying it. Well,
Dave, there's something you do know. While I have you here, Dave, you're an expert on wide receivers who are menaces to society when they get behind the wheel of a car, right? So, you have any thoughts on the Rashee Rice news?
He gets to rehab in prison for 30 days.
County.
All right, Jay. Gray Bar Hotel.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely going to county. That's what the jurisdiction for that one will be for 30 days, for a short-term stint. Don't ask me how I know. On one hand,
I hear
the Chiefs, on one hand, the Chiefs seem like they seem to strive when they have a felon catching passes from Patrick Mahomes. But on the same flip side, at some point this has got to catch up with them, right? At some point, this has got to be an issue for them as their output on the field suffers from so many distractions off the field.
it doesn't until it does.
Just how they roll.
Hey, you may be old enough to remember the old Dallas Cowboys.
Which old Dallas Cowboys?
The ones that the whole snorting the goal line stuff was all talked about.
Oh, you're talking about the Dallas Cowboys where one of their Hall of Fame wide receivers stabbed a player.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was 40 where they were, partying up all the time, and they were a good football team until they weren't.
Well, it was okay when the position players were doing lines, but when a quarterback started doing lines, that's where it went off the rails. Shout out to my man Quincy Carter. You didn't think I remembered that name, did you?
That's not that long ago.
That was 99, wasn't it? Yeah, he was a quarterback about 99. I think Troy was gone by then.
I thought he was hitting us with Roger Staubach or something like that.
Oh, whoa.
We remember Quincy Carter.
Yeah, I mean, some of the kids out there are like, who's Quincy?
And there's others going, who's Roger Staubach?
For sure they're saying
Oh,
that.
no.
No,
I think Roger Staubach is still a little bit more famous than Quincy.
Well, yeah, it was short-lived with Quincy Carter, but they were fun with Rocket Ismail and all that.
Oh, yeah, they were. I like that squad. We'll be right back. The NFL dominates the entire 365 calendar, even without games. They have two premier off-season events that they give us content creators to feast on, and all of the NFL degenerates as well. They had the draft last month. We loved that. The draft took up a whole week and a half of talking and dissecting that down. And then you have the schedule release. Christmas for content creators. Real quick, let's go through the bullet points of each of these schedules for our teams in the division, and let's get a prediction. Let's get it on wax now. Let's kick it off so we can bring it back up at the first of the year.
Baby.
Let's start with the Packers since they don't have anybody here to defend them. First three games in September, you got the Vikings, Jets, and Atlanta Falcons. The first two games are at home. October, you have 5 weeks. Old NL Central rival Tampa Bay Buccaneers they'll be going to see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They got the Bears, Dallas Cowboys coming to Lambeau. Then an away and a home between the Lions and the Panthers. You got the Patriots, Vikings before their bye in November. Then on Thanksgiving, that is. No, that's Thanksgiving Eve. The first ever Thanksgiving Eve game against the Rams in L.A. No, that's it. Is that at home or LA? I'm sorry.
I think it's in L.A.
Okay. Then LA. Okay, then get into December. They have the Saints, Bills, Dolphins, and the rematch with the Bears. And last 2 weeks of the season, you have the Texans and the Lions. Are they winners and losers in the schedule? Is it an easy schedule or is it a tough schedule?
It's a fair schedule. I don't think it's neither tough nor easy. They have, first off, they start off on the road with going to Minnesota, which of course they'll lose. They do have some tough late games, but 4 out of the 5 are at home late. So
that's one thing that stepped out to me too.
Right. So they're going to use the weather to their advantage. It's that closing stretch. So Miami should be a win for them. At Chicago, Christmas at Soldier Field, you're going to have to dial up the snow to pay.
Yeah, we don't need it.
And then they're going to host Houston and Detroit. Houston could be, we know their defense rocks. Jordan Love could be eating the ball all day. And by that time, Detroit will have everybody on the defense injured.
Very possible.
It's the way Detroit works.
Can't even contend with that.
Well, I think it's a fair schedule. I don't think it's neither difficult nor easy.
The late season, they do get a very good advantage that you pointed out there, Dave. They have a lot of those games at home. Now, being the home team for a good stretch while you're jockeying for playoff positions, that's great. But we're all old enough to remember where Lambeau Field used to be some type of feared place to go to, where it was like no one wins in Lambeau when it's cold. Definitely not in January.
Yeah.
Nowadays, that's just scary bedtime stories that they tell the kids now, because that's not a thing anymore, right? Anybody can go out in Lambeau at any time of the year and just go, beat them upside the head. But not to poo-poo it, it is still home games. Weeks 14 through 18, you got 4 of the last 5 games at the crib. That is a good advantage, because I'm going to use that same argument when I talk about another team. Guess who? The other thing that jumped out the screen to me, they have these big slated games, these primetime games. Cowboys, Falcons, Panthers, Bills, Texans. Where are they all at? At home. Those are, again, if you're going to play a marquee game, if you want to play a game where all eyes on you, you prefer to be at the crib, right? So those are some advantages I saw in their schedule. So the Packers did, to your point, Dave, I think they did make out good from the schedule maker. Shout out to AI. I don't know what AI the NFL uses, but Claude. Well, you know what? I do know what AI they use. They use AWS. They get the Amazon service. They have the premium subscription from Amazon. So I know they looked out for the Packers this time around. Let's get some predictions. False.
Well, I was going to say,
wins?
with a lot of those home games coming towards the end of the year, that's going to be your, ramping up, Micah Parsons section. So, I mean, they may be kind of catching their stride as far as, health around that time too. So can't discount that. I mean, I think they definitely are priming to be a above 500 team, as well as probably everybody else in the division, because that's just how we play. But
NFC North, baby.
11 and
ooh.
No.
Ooh.
I mean, they're never bad. Are they ever really bad?
Yeah, they're like the Milwaukee Brewers, always frustratingly good.
Yeah, they're never, I wouldn't say 15-2, but at the same time, I certainly wouldn't say 5-12. Like, I think that's way out there, but they beat us twice last year. They're pesky, man.
Okay, so you scared that they're listening. That's what that is. You think they're listening to you. You don't want to speak too loud. I got you. I feel you. I feel you lost it.
Respect. I got to respect.
Okay. All right. They beat the respect out of you. Okay. 11 wins. I think that's about their ceiling if everything breaks right. Micah Parsons comes back fairly early. And, he doesn't have any I guess an extrapolated ramp up period. I think 11 wins will probably be closer to where their ceiling is. I think anywhere between, I won't tell you where I think their floor is. Dave, you pick it up from there. Let's, what do you think their record would be?
The Packers, they'll be in it towards the end, just like all 4 teams in the division. I'm guessing 10 wins maximum, because they're going to start out slow without Parsons. Love, even though people say, oh, he's elite. Well, they haven't been elite when Parsons is not in. So I'm just 10 wins max. Fighting for a wild card spot.
I did say I think 11 is about their ceiling. 9 to 11, I think that is a fair assumption for what you see from their schedule, and based on what we know about Jordan Love, based on their injury with Micah Parsons, because they haven't won a game without Micah. They are 100 and
they were 0-5 in their last 5 games.
As soon as he got that picture right there, that picture on the right, as soon as that happened, loss. The losses piled up. Shout out to Caleb Williams. They have not won a game since that picture was taken. That was 170 some odd days ago. They've been losers ever since. But
now they have a late bye. It's week 11 for them, which could help them. But I'm saying 10 wins max for the Packers.
I will make an argument for the 9-win season.
Okay, I'll buy that.
They have a lot of 50-50 games on the road. We talked about their advantage at the house. On the road, they do play a lot of 50-50 games where they can mess around and, lose quite a bit away from Lambeau Field. Again, no Micah Parsons. We haven't seen them win without Micah Parsons. We have no, until otherwise is proven, I have no belief that they can win without Micah Parsons. And
well, let's go real quick. Minnesota, in the afternoon slot, national slot for CBS. They're in our house. The only question we have is who's starting quarterback, and we should beat them. Then you have at the Jets. They should beat the Jets.
Tomorrow morning is knocking. Stock your fridge now. How about a creamy mocha frappuccino drink? Or a sweet vanilla? Smooth caramel, maybe? Or a white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Find Starbucks Frappuccino drinks wherever you buy your groceries.
Then they host Atlanta. They should beat Atlanta, no matter who's quarterback, Tua or Penix. Then you have at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay could be feisty. And then they host you guys, Chicago Bears. I'm going to pick Chicago on that one. So at best, they win, what? Start out 2-5? Or 2-3? First 5 games? So they're already below 500.
Sounds good to me.
And then they play Dallas, who could be good. Then they play at Detroit, who should be good. Top 5 offense for the last 5 years or whatever. And then versus Carolina. Carolina made playoffs last year. You at New England, Super Bowl appearance. Then they host us. Then they get their bye. They may only have 2 wins by the time they get to their bye. They're the ones that I think could finish 4th in this division and absolutely fail. And that's without serious injuries. Their only hope is that Micah Parsons comes back and he's a beast. Game record like he normally is. But I don't think that's going to happen because that's not normal.
No.
Even when Peterson came back, his first few games were...
But no one's built like AP, though, right? So let's. So we've got our predictions. I'm writing them down. Okay. Come January 1st, when we do the 4th season of NFC North Roundtable, Who Will Be King? And we'll be bringing this back up. False. I didn't see a Bleachers to Speakers a schedule reaction breakdown. So help us out here. Real quick, let's give me the bullet points for what's going on with Detroit, what their season's looking.
First and foremost, what schedule did I pull up? Well, right out the gate, and I think that was one of the predictions that we had was seeing Chicago early, so we can keep the same momentum that we had going last year, or we beat them twice. But we got some gimmies early. We got the Jets and the Titans, which should be fairly easy W's. Although we know that Tennessee is likely to be better than last year, but we got a couple games in the very end, which should have some playoff implications. So that'll be interesting. That'll be important for us. You pull the schedule back up real quick. One after the was not this.
That one I put up was a little off too. So week 1, you got the Saints, you got the Buffalo Bills and New York Jets in September. In October, Carolina Panthers. That is primetime. Arizona Cardinals of the week on week 5. Bye week 6. You got the Packers and Vikings back-to-back, week 7 and 8. You got Dolphins week 9. And then you go to Munich, Germany, to play the New England Patriots in week 10. Week 11, you see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The first game that you play the Bears will be Thanksgiving. And the last few weeks of the season, Atlanta, Tennessee Titans, the Minnesota Vikings rematch. You got the Giants on Monday Night Football. You see the Bears in week 17 and end the season with the Packers.
Okay, so let's try this again. All right. So the one thing that I noticed is that we don't see a divisional opponent until after our bye week. If my eyes serve me correctly. You got the Saints, Buffalo, New York, and I think the Saints, Carolina could be tough. Arizona shouldn't be, but we don't see anybody until we see the Packers on week 7, which could be or could not be the return of Micah Parsons. So I don't like to throw any guarantees out there, but we should be skating pretty good going into the bye week, and then obviously we close out the second half of the year with a much more divisional heavy schedule. But even between 14 and 18, we still got the Giants and the Titans mixed in there. So, as they said, it's, a favorable schedule because it is the last place schedule, and we should be able to take advantage of that. I think that with the Packers, possibly fallen back a little bit. I think the Bears kind of overachieved last year. The Vikings had the same schedule. They did overachieve. No one had them winning the division.
I did.
Just kick return, won you the division. That's it.
The Vikings come into this year with the same question they had last year about who's going to be the starting quarterback. I think any question that we might have had as far as the interior offensive line, I think we did a good job of clearing that up, and we finally drafted an edge rusher before the 6th round. So I think we're prime. I think we got a lot of things going for us this year, including the weaker schedule.
Dave, does anything step out, jump off the page to you when you look at the Lions schedule?
And it's going to be a test for them. When you go at Minnesota, hosting the Giants, at Chicago, at Green Bay, they end on the road. And that's going to be tough places to play. Against the Giants, who knows how good they're going to be? Probably not. But there's 4 games there. They're going to be rough. And you have Tennessee, Atlanta, they should win. And then Chicago in week 12. And like I said, Tampa Bay is feisty.
Yeah, for sure.
Do a little gambling. I don't know if you all know this about me.
Payday.
So I noticed that the Detroit Lions are favorites in 14 of their 18 games, or 14 of the 17 games. That was the first thing that that was just me doing, diving through and some edges so I can get in early. All right, but the first thing, another thing that that should be fairly obvious to everybody, the Lions have an easy schedule to start the season, all the way to like week 7. And this is, again, couch this as everybody's going to say anything in the comments and call me crazy, call all of us a bunch of.
Week 2, Buffalo is not easy.
No, not at all.
It's May 20th. We don't know who actually is easy. We don't know who actually is tough. The Saints, they did finish the season pretty decent last year. They might be better than what we give them credit for. But as of right now, I'm going to call them an easy game. The Bills, we know the Bills have a penchant for starting the season a little limp. Then there's the Jets. I'm going to claim it now. The Jets are easy. The Jets are easy. Hi, Aaron Glenn. You're easy. You might be back in Detroit sooner rather than later.
Yes.
He might try to go see if his house is still on the market in Detroit. He might want to go ahead and repurchase that. While he's there. And you got the Panthers and the Cardinals. I actually like Carolina. I think Carolina is a good team. I think they are primed to take that next step. But I don't think they're at that level yet where you can just start saying, it might be a tough game. I think they're a decent team, but I do still think they're a little bit under the weight class of where I think all of our teams are at, if that makes sense. Cardinals, no, get them out of here. So with the Lions, I think a lot of what you said about the back half of the season about the Packers also applies to the Lions. The tough part of the schedule is when you want to start jockeying for position. It's actually when you want to start building up that callus for the playoffs. So I can see the Lions having a bounce-back season. Dave, what about you? What's a good record prediction for the Detroit Lions?
10 wins, possibly 11. They've got the easier schedule. That's what happens when you finish in 4th place and have the easiest schedule of all 4 teams. They improved the defense and they got Goff and a top 5 offense, but they should be competing for the NFC North.
We won last we won 9 last year. Right?
We all did.
Every team was over 500, Foss.
1 win improvement.
Oh, you all right. You go 12, 13, 14 wins. Yeah. Go for it.
We won 15 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, we won 14. Does that mean that we're going to go 14-3 this year? Likely.
Oh, you don't have a quarterback, Dave.
We didn't 2 years ago when we won 14. I mean, we made him better. That's what Kevin O'Connell's for, is the whisper.
He's a Super Bowl winner now.
Time out. Dave, it sounded like you just said you will make whoever fill in the blank quarterback of the Vikings better this year. Is that what you just said? Hopefully. That's a little less my.
Well, it's just the same with Sam Darnold. We'd hopefully make Sam Darnold better. And it was questionable whether he would start because J.J. McCarthy was looking great in the preseason until we got to the first game. And then the day after, he goes, my knee hurts. It's all swollen, coach. And they go check it out, and he tore his ACL.
Foster, record prediction. Since you didn't do one on bleachers and speakers, right now, put it on wax.
12-5.
3-win improvement. Okay. Not bad. Little modest. A little modest 12.
It is. Tough division. I'm not
It is
gonna.
tough division.
I'm a mirror that. I actually like you all at 12-5 as well. Dave,
17-0, like I said. That's a stick from.
That's how you play the game, Dave. I like that. That's how you play the game.
That's a stick from our game announcer from K-Fan. He would go, I don't see a loss in this schedule. 17-0. But PA, Paul Allen, to be exact. Now, for us, I'm looking at, we start out with hosting Green Bay in the 3:25 Central Time. That's a win. They don't have Parsons. Then we go to Chicago. That's going to be a fun game. I agree. And then over to feisty Tampa Bay. And then we're back with Miami. We should win that one. Then New Orleans. And then we have the bye. We have a week 6 bye, just like Detroit. We should be hopefully 4-1 by then. Then it starts to get rougher. We host Indianapolis. Indianapolis should be a good team. Then we go to Detroit, who, like I said, should be at least a 10-win team. But we beat them twice last year. Then we host Buffalo, and Buffalo is one of our primetime games. Then it's at Green Bay for the second time in week 10. Then at San Francisco, down in Mexico City. And that's the rough part. Those 5 games, starting at the end of October, going through November, where we play Indy, Detroit, Buffalo, Green Bay, and San Francisco. How we come out of those 5 games will determine whether we're contenders or not. If we split after starting 4-1, we're fine. If we don't, we're in trouble. Then it's Atlanta, easy. Carolina, Then at New England, and I think that's a primetime game also. And then we finish hosting Detroit, Washington, at New Jersey, and then hosting Chicago for, hopefully, the division at that point in time. And the last, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 6 games are at home.
That last game, Dave, is TBD. You got, it's a TBD on time and day. Do you have a particular time and day you would like to see the Bears to end your season?
Sunday night.
Ooh. It's not a bad option. On the night. The 2-minute report.
Number 1 seed, just like we did 2 years ago against Detroit.
That's a late night for you, Dave, because I know you all do that 2-minute, what do you call it? The 2-minute, live at 2 minutes?
2-minute warning, yes. Yeah, but I'll take it. And speaking of late, we've always loved our nooners, the noon games, right?
Mm-hmm.
We only have like 2 or 3 scheduled this year. Everything's in the afternoon or later.
They putting those quarterbacks on. All right. False. Did there anything jump off the page to you from the Vikings schedule?
Well, contrary to how the Lions have their setup, they're getting some of their divisional games out of the way, starting with Green Bay and Chicago, and then Tampa Bay. They're always tough on us. So not an easy start out the gate. It's pretty balanced. They don't really have a long stretch of cakewalks. Closest to that they might have is the Washington Jets. And even then they got Chicago at home, so much, so better, but they still got to end the season in Chicago. So it's pretty balanced. They don't have a long stretch of games where I can say they can kind of kick their feet up. I mean, they go, probably the toughest stretch is, like you mentioned, Colts.
We don't end it in Chicago. Chicago ends it in.
Right. That's what I'm saying is that at least it's in Minnesota, but that stretch from the Colts, Lions, Buffalo, Green Bay, 49ers, even that. No, I won't Atlanta in there, but we know that San Francisco is always at least decent, or at least they use. I don't know. I feel like they've been kind of losing some guys, but San Francisco's
They're
usually
always losing guys. That's the thing.
yeah. But even last year,
Troy West.
right. You're talking about with injuries, yeah. But yeah, even last year when it was kind of a down year, I mean, they held it down with Daniel Jones. What was the backup quarterback? I mean, what's their starting quarterback? So, yeah. No. Who am I thinking of? Quarterback. His last name is Jones, isn't it?
Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones plays for the Colts. I forgot who the backup quarterback was for the
It's an
for the Niners
ex-Patriot,
last
right?
year. Was it, I don't know why Mac Jones. There you go.
I'm like, his name is Jones. I know, but yes, Mac Jones. So yeah, even with the backup at the helm, I don't think he might have lost the game, but San Francisco's always kind of solid.
Okay, so since you want to glaze San Francisco, give me the record position for the Minnesota Vikings. You start them off. Let's go.
I'm feeling real 9-8ish at best.
Ooh,
thank you.
You had more respect for the Packers.
If we're being realistic, I know we joke about it, but the Packers are always decent. At minimum, they're decent.
I mean, 8 wins is decent to me. I mean, now you say decent. Okay,
8 when there were 16 wins in a season, but 8 now is below 500.
Yeah. Okay, all right.
Is Aaron Jones still your starting running back?
Aaron Jones is still a starting running back, yes.
Man.
Yeah, oh man.
Experience a membership that backs what you're building with American Express Business Platinum. Get 2 times membership rewards points per dollar on eligible purchases in key business categories, as well as on each eligible purchase of $5,000 or more, on up to $2 million in eligible purchases per calendar year. American Express Business Platinum. There's nothing like it. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-platinum.
You may think you know McDonald's drinks, but you don't know them like this. From fruity refreshers like the Strawberry Watermelon Refresher and the Mango Pineapple Refresher with popping boba, to crafted sodas like the Sprite Berry Blast with berry-flavored Sprite topped with cold foam. Who knew ice-cold drinks could be so fire? 6 all-new drinks are here. Try them all, now at McDonald's. Refreshers contain caffeine.
Dave, you have a counter to that?
We with a one will probably start, and you got J.J. McCarthy. I'm hoping J.J. McCarthy beats the We Will One out for the starting job, but we'll see. That's just me, Dave, personally.
That might just say more about the wee little one than it.
Dave, you have a counter to what that 9-8?
Oh, we figured 9 minimum and probably 11 wins.
So like the
We'll
Packers.
be there at the end, competing for the
Foster was
division.
right. Okay. Yes, Foster was right. He was on to something similar to the Packers.
We'll see.
But KOC in his 4 seasons, 3 even year, he's been either won 13 or 14 games. So who knows? Maybe we'll go 13 or 14 wins, maybe even 15.
Now you're doing the content thing, Dave. I said we got to do that. We're come on, entertain. All right, so here's what I saw with the Vikings schedule. The thing that I noticed first, and it's something I didn't really think about until last year when it was something that the Bears had. Early bye weeks. Early bye weeks can really help a team that is in transition. Like the Bears had a new coach. An early bye week can help the new coach settle some things down, fix some things up, and then hit the ground running coming out that bye week. It was the unnamed MVP for the Bears. The Vikings have a week 6 bye. Now the Vikings don't have a new coach. They do have a lot of confusion in the quarterback room.
And if we start out badly, say 1 or 2 wins, you might see a QB change after the bye.
No, might. You will. The on-ramp is already baked into the schedule for a QB change. If whoever breaks camp as the QB1, your job, you have the job up until that bye week. There will be a I guess a grading period at that point, and who exits the bye week could be somebody new. And I think that is where you have to look at this Vikings schedule at this point. Like everything after week 6 is not even important. You have to really grade it in those type of two segments. But that's a topic for another show. I'm going to bring it down a little bit. I have the Vikings at the same 9 wins because of the quarterback, because we don't know. If you don't have a quarterback, you don't have any type of hope for the season. And if you have 2 quarterbacks, you really don't have none. We're all old enough to know that adage, and that adage continues to be true. And so me saying 9 wins is a lot of respect for what they got going on from Brian Flores, what KLC can cook up, even with whomever the quarterback is. Basically, I'm saying 9 wins is a baseline. You got to prove that you can do more than that. And, hey, you're right, Dave. You could be onto something. The Wheat Widow one or J.J.
McCarthy.
They could show out. So 9 wins is their ceiling, their base. That's just me giving them respect. They could, if they do anything, if they fall flat on their face, I still think they're going to be a solid team. That's basically what I'm saying. But 9 wins is where I'm going to get now at this point at May 20th.
And that's the case for every team in the division.
No.
Well, I'm saying all 4 teams are considered solid.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I agree. Yeah. All of us should be baseline of at least 1 game over 500, at least. And, if anybody's going to mess it up, it'd probably be the Packers because, F them. Now let's talk about the man of the hour. Yeah, you're right, Dave. The man of the hour, the main event. The Bear.
Did you see the Minnesota Vikings schedule reveal? See through week 2, what they did for week 2.
If I don't remember.
It was filmed at the Omni restaurant with Will the Throw Reichert, best kicker in the NFL, ordering all 17 dishes. And each dish represented a week in the schedule. And week 2, it came out with a frosted bear claw with painted nails. And you're on mute.
I said I knew there was going to be a painted nails in there somewhere. It's par for the course. I'm okay with that. I'm going to ask you the same question. Did you see the Bears schedule release video? They had Roman Dunze doing a Bob Ross rendition of the schedule release. And we pulled out a cheese grater to put in some yellow into that canvas. Because you know what? We grade cheese around here. But let's talk about the Bears schedule real quick. Bullet point time. So the Bears start off the season with 3 of the first 4 games at home. They go on the road to face Carolina week 1, then 3 straight home games, Vikings, Philadelphia Eagles, Jets. Then 2 road games back to back. There's the kick in the middle of October. We got the Packers, possibly Micah Parker's return game at the Atlanta Falcons. And then we have a 3-week gauntlet, quote unquote gauntlet, because who knows? We had to start with the Patriots, come to Soldier Field. We go to see Seattle, and then we come back home to host the our old NL Central rival, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Then we have our late bye, week 10. We come out of that bye to play the Saints, Lions, Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Miami Dolphins before seeing Buffalo. Going to see Buffalo in their new stadium. Imagine that. And then Christmas, the rematch.
Christmas or Christmas?
No. The Bears play the Packers on Christmas on Netflix. Foster, you may not be familiar with this, but Netflix is known for movies.
Yeah, another stories and Christmas music, movies, and the whole works. Yeah.
Since recently, they've got into the live sports business, but another word for movies is cinema. You can't spell cinema without Iceman. Keep that in mind. The last 2 games of the season is going to be the Lions and the Vikings, where I think the division would be on the line both weeks. So the things that jump out at me about this schedule, I know that one of them, the Bears start the season with a 3 of the first 4 at the house. That is, and 1, you're going to have whomever the quarterback is with the Vikings, and 2, you got the Jets and some also Rams, Philly. You have an opportunity to really boost yourself up in the first 4 games of the season. Also, the Bears play 9 home games this season, 9 of them.
So do we.
unbalanced schedule now. So half the league will play 9, then they'll flip it again the next year, and so on and so forth. But for the Bears perspective, 9 home games for them this season. You can never go wrong with hosting, being the home team more times than being the road team. So the same thing for everybody else. Another thing, that gauntlet that I did mention between the Patriots, the Seattle Seahawks, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. While those are tough opponents, there's a lot of space in between those opponents. You have a Thursday night game, you have a Monday night game, you have a Sunday night game, all between all 3 of them. So there's a lot of time to get ready for all 3 of those guys. And the most important thing about the Bears schedule, they only have to travel west one time. They cross the Mississippi one time all season. That's go see Seattle. After that, we pretty much stay central to Eastern Standard Time. It's a good thing for the Bears.
Technically, when you come to Minnesota, you're crossing the Mississippi.
Pooh, that doesn't matter.
2-hour flight, if that.
That don't matter. That's a 2-hour flight in the PJ. It's nothing. Nothing at all.
I failed to mention, we have no games west of the Rockies this year.
We're really opening up for the NFC North. Dave, real fast, anything to jump off the page to you for the Bears schedule?
Yeah, I figure you're going 2-2 in the first 4 games, but that mini gauntlet you're talking about, where you're New England, Seattle, and then Tampa, that's going to be rough for you guys. But you got a killer for the end of the schedule. The last 4 games: Buffalo, Green Bay, Detroit, and Minnesota. That's going to be rough. If you guys make it through there, you're probably going to deserve to win the division. But I don't think you're going to make it through there, so that's fine.
Falls to your turn.
No,
Get them in now.
Man, this is a really tough schedule. I mean, you didn't even talk about Philly like that. You just grazed right over that.
I don't consider them tough. That's why.
I mean, another team that's never terrible. They've been pretty good the last couple of years. I mean, they took a step back.
I'm glad you said it first.
I mean, but Chicago.
Glad you said that. But did you watch Philly last year? They were terrible. They were objectively terrible.
They had a bunch of injuries too.
Hate to make it personal, but they dog walked us. I mean, they didn't dog walk us, but they did beat us.
So it's not really that much of a big deal.
You didn't beat us last year, though. I will say that.
Did you play a playoff game? Did you play a playoff game?
I'm just saying.
I don't recall you all being around during the most important part of the season. I'm just going to point that out.
Fair enough.
But, right. The Lions are
until
just
y'all beat us. That is still something that you have to contend with.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. We got higher aspirations than beating the light blue version of the Pistons. We don't really care. We don't really care.
We cleared the NFC North. Now you bring up this. We cleared the NFC North the year before. When is the last time the Bears beat the Lions?
When is the last time the Lions did anything past January 1st? Let me announce this to me.
We almost went to the Super Bowl.
You cleared the.
Almost went to the Super Bowl.
We went 15-2. Remember that?
Let's get the parade started for almost going to the Super Bowl.
That's past January. I'm answering the question.
Do they hang banners for almost going to the Super Bowl?
You said past January.
I'm just asking questions since we're talking about what is the accomplishment of
hang a banner.
So Philly will be an easy one for Chicago.
Philly has an all-new coaching staff. Philly has an all-new coaching staff minus the head coach. They are going to trade AJ. They have a new number 1 wide receiver target. And at some point, the Jalen Hurts thing for me, I think his name is more famous than his actual game. That's just me. That's my
winner,
opinion.
But yeah, speaking of January, February.
Yeah, you're right. He is a Super Bowl winner. I still don't think he's that good. I think he's okay at best. My official prediction, I think the Bears beat Philadelphia because I don't think they're good. I think the Bears beat the Patriots because I think the Patriots have too many distractions. I think the Patriots they probably gonna have a new coach by that time. It's a lot of stuff going on. They're probably going to split with the Lions. Oh, they're going to split with the Lions and they're going to split with the Packers. They're going to win the Christmas game. The Lions are going to beat the Bears. Dave, you don't have a quarterback yet. You have a quarterback. And if you do have a quarterback, you can't sit over the He can't see over the table, so I'm not really worried about it yet. And the Bears are going to split with the Packers. We're going to beat them on Christmas at the crib. Put on a show for everybody while at the house. The Bears are going to lose to the Lions, but still split. They're going to lose to the Lions on Thanksgiving because the Lions are going to be well rested coming off that Munich. Yeah, I think Munich is the game heading into the Thanksgiving. I think the Lions have 11 days to prepare. I don't see the Bears winning that game, but they will still split. I'm not overly concerned with the Bears and their chances against the Vikings. I think the Bears do come out of the division with a 4-2 division record, setting them up for a 12-5 season.
So I want to do my prediction. I like the way you spun a lot of this. I like the Mississippi River. I like the distraction.
Yeah,
New Orleans,
come on. Yeah.
You do have to face the other Super Bowl winners. I didn't really talk about that, but that's okay. And yeah, like I said, I think you guys overachieved last year, and now you're facing a much tougher schedule.
About to come back to earth, right?
I think so for sure.
Not when you got a top 5 quarterback. When you go back, your earth falling is very, very, very low.
The Bear. I'm gonna say 10. I'm gonna say 10 wins, 10-7. What'd you say? 11?
I said 12-5.
12? Ooh, that is rich. But
that's optimistic, yes.
Dave, what you got us?
12 at best, right? Like, no way you're thinking like.
Actually, no. 12 is 12 is not the best.
That is crazy.
Go ahead and check out the schedule reaction video we did last week. I had 13-4. I'm coming back down to 12-5. Dave, what do you think?
9 games base. 9 games for all of us base. Question is, how many can you win? And you play a lot of good teams. I'm hoping it comes down to you and me for the division championship in week 18. So I'll give you 11.
Be mad at that?
Max 11.
I'm fine with that. 11-6. I mean, not a real regression, anything like that. I'm okay with all this, but again, all of this is getting put on wax. We're writing all of this down. We will revisit it as the season turns.
There's one advantage the Vikings have that you all don't. We don't play any holidays this year.
That's good. That's the less the masses have to see JJ McCarthy is the better.
If JJ wins the job, JJ's going to be the man. And if the we win a one plays up to his potential in the number 1 draft pick and played like he did in 2022, I think it is, or even 2024, he should be fitting in with KOC and our weapons. He should just succeed no matter what. And if he doesn't, he's done.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
talked about this a lot, Dave. I think the best thing for all parties is that JJ McCarthy wins that job because of the free agent wins it. There's an indictment on everybody from president on down. I want to thank everybody for watching the show and participating in our bloviating and our optimistic views of our teams on May 20th. All of this is likely to change, as you know there will. Football is a crazy sport. The shape of the ball tells you that. The bounce is something you can't predict. But I want you all to check out Foster, the voice of the Detroit sports scene over at Bleachers, the speakers. They're doing a lot of good stuff over there. Make sure you catch them and everything they got going on that side. Dave and his merry men, the Vikings home for all things pigskin, can be found at the Vikings First and Skull. Listen, we are running a little long, but I wrote this script before this. I don't even want to say the word jackass, but decided to do what he's always doing and steal the show for himself. Aaron Rodgers is saying he's retiring after the year.
Yay. It's about time. Should have been about 5 years ago.
Any last words?
Good riddance.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate you tapping into this latest episode from the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan channel. Don't matter if you was watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify or Apple. Make sure you like, subscribe, share with everybody on the block. and hit the notification bell so you never miss none of our daily drops. And to all the guys from the Shy, we say 3 things. Bear down, fly the W, and sell the team, Jerry.